Positioning from Nate Harriel.
Harriel does a good job there to drop off and make sure that Lennon doesn't get in behind him.
Bizo will have the possession. Racing past Gonzalo Pineda, the head coach of Atlanta, and Jim Curtin. Bizo about 40 yards away for the Guzan goal. Has it with his pink boots. In possession with his right. Will cross it in. One hops to the right of Guzan, who squeezes it towards his left chest and makes the stop before Carranza can get any contact on it. Nice stop by Guzan there on the cross by Bizo.
And that's 2 or 3 times. And Bizo's been able to beat his defender 1v1 and have service into the box. Just not able to connect. The Union have been a little bit off on their crosses, but they're getting more and more dangerous and sending some warning shots to Atlanta.
That's the improvement, Shannon, that you and I were calling for. More crosses, more build-up, more possession in the final third. We're seeing it. Just need a runner to touch it inside the 18 towards the 6 for the Union, but much more crosses at the early stages of half number 2 as opposed to the first stanza, with Atlanta up 1-0 in the 69th minute. Peralta splits a bevy of Union players and finds Almada. This is the player the Union do not want to see on the ball in the attacking half. Almada, 35 yards away from goal, clipping it forward here. Chance inside here for Lennon. Going to play the cross in. Carves off the one past Bendick, who didn't really give a run towards the 6. Goes out off of the Union, and a corner for Atlanta upcoming to the right of Joe.
And just on cue, the player that the Union don't want on the ball, they don't do a good job of getting tight and forcing it wide. He plays a good ball to switch the point of attack, and then the Atlanta team sparks up from there. Lennon's been really good on that right-hand side of being dangerous in areas that he can attack. And Nathan Harriel does a good job to get a block on the cross.
It was Harriel that had the block there. Bendick didn't make too much of a move. He saw it go wide the whole way. Almada with the corner to the right of Bendick. Ted Uncle says play on. 70th minute, 1-0 Atlanta. Mullen inside towards the 6. One there by Glesnes. Second ball up ahead on Bendick. Spilling to the turf is Jose Martinez after Lennon went for the strike. And he will have the yellow card. And it will be Sadich, the culprit in the 70th minute. So it's Sadich who went for that smack on the second ball amid Jose Martinez, and it spilled Jose to the turf. And Sadich is booked in the 70th minute.
Union need to keep pressing here, trying to get themselves back into this game. They've found an avenue out here on this right-hand side. Can they continue to look to expose it and then connect on one of those crosses? One of those crosses can change the game and get them back on top of it and then let them chase for the win.
Jose still down here, Shaden, so it allows Paul Rushing and Steve Hoodyman to come out to the turf here at Mercedes-Benz. It is the home to the NFL's Atlanta Falcons that opened in August of 2017, a cost of $1.6 billion, owned by the Georgia World Congress Center Authority. I've seen a lot of big events here most recently. I know your favorite and everybody, Taylor Swift, was the first one I think I read to sell at 3 consecutive shows. I was told that the press box seats were even sold. How come we weren't invited to that?
Right, I know you're a big Swiftie. So.
Sure. Missed the one at the link. I didn't get your invitation to go.
I didn't go either, that's for sure.
I'll have to talk to our producer, Kyle, about that for her next tour. But the Premier League Summer Series is coming here. Brentford against Brighton, Chelsea, Newcastle at the end of July. So looking forward to that. Super Bowl 43 was played here in 2019. They'll have the 2025 College Football Playoff National Championship here. It seats 71,000. Again, we're documenting this because Martinez is still down. They have 24 bars and restaurants. They'll also be one of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup as well, in addition to Lincoln Financial Field.
And it's money well spent. We walked around the stadium. We walked around the concourse, and it's a really nice stadium, one of the nicest that we've been in for sure.
Philadelphia Union, in partnership with Boeing, would like to invite you to the annual Battle of the Branches, a 5v5 soccer tournament at the Battleship, New Jersey. All local active duty military, retired civilian, DoD civilians, and friends and family playing in honor or memory of military members are invited to compete in the tournament. Visit the Union website for more information. So it looks like we're going to get a double switch here with McGlynn coming on along with Quinn Sullivan. And looks like Bedoya and Uwa are going to come out here in the 73rd minute, Shana.
Yeah, and the Union trying to push the game here, continue to chase the game, put in McGlynn, seeing if he can help Mbizo try to expose this right side, left-hand side for Atlanta United.
So we restart here towards the end line. Carranza whipped that one in, cleared out by Abram. Carranza trying to win it towards the sideline. Wiley was there. He was in his way. Up top, Elliott. A good spin and a 180 to find Glesnes right behind him because Wolf was right in front of him trying to get that along with Berry. Again, Bedoya is out from this one, and Michael Ua is done as well, replaced by Sullivan and McGlynn for Bedoya. In the 73rd minute, 1-0 Atlanta. Almada still with the game's only goal in the 7th minute. Martinez sprang this forward, a 40-yard ball up ahead, running out of real estate towards the end line as Bizo towards the Union subs, warming up out of play to the left of Guzan. It will be a goal kick upcoming here for Big Brad.
And that's a tough ball by Martinez. On the turf, it skips out of bounds, and that's always going to happen. So they have to be a little bit more patient, looking to find McGlynn, looking to find Flack, and then working the ball into the box from there.
So Shannon still with the changes, still sticking with the 4-4-2 diamond. I see Sullivan out wide to the left, Carranza to the right. Gazdag is the number 10. It goes off of Atlanta. Quick restart. Carranza still well away for the Guzan goal. The Union are down 1-0 to Atlanta United. They are in possession to the right of Jim Curtin's coaching box and the Union bench. They'll get McGlynn on the ball. His first touch that's coming in. Cleared out by Parata into the second row of seats behind the Union bench. Will be a throw for the Philadelphia Union. Bizo to McGlynn, settles with his left thigh, gets it back, coming forward here is Gazdag, tipping the 18, played that forward, but right behind Carranza, who is jetting to his right. The pass came into his left, right to Guzan.
And a good job with McGlynn turning inside, finding Gazdag. I'd like to see him shoot there. He's at the top of the 18, cutting inside on his not favored left foot, but he's got to have a rip on net and see if he can get the Union back in this game.
Ball played out to the right of Guzan, won by the Union, past Uncle, foul called towards the center circle in the attacking half of the Union. With the Philadelphia Union player down, it looks like a yellow card is coming up here to Atlanta as Leon Flock is down for the moment. That yellow administered to Franco Ibarra in the 75th minute, right around midfield, taking down young Leon.
And the Union have flipped the script a little bit on Atlanta here and not allowing them to build out of the back and get out of their own half. They've done a lot to keep the Atlanta United in their own half, winning the ball back, which has created chances for them. So hopefully they can get things started and get one off one of these turnovers. They really have to do a better job of making sure that they can create some danger once they turn the ball over in Atlanta's own defensive half.
Here comes McGlynn for the restart, though. Shannon, 45 yards away. Chips this one in, looking for Glesnes. Gets the header. Here comes the second ball. Won by Carranza. Back to Sullivan. Goes to the opposite side of the post for Leon Flock. High above the crossbar. Into the field side seats for Leon Flock. Out of play. Will be a goal kick for Guzan as Atlanta bails out of it. In the 76th minute, they lead 1-0.
Atlanta had a good job of scrambling that away. Union have a couple chances to swing at it. Unfortunately, they miss, and they're going to make a sub as they try to continue to chase this game. It looks like Martinez is going to come off, and Torres is going to go on. I would assume that either Flock or McGlynn drop into that deeper spot and see how they go from there.
Just past the top of the hour, you're listening to Philadelphia Union Soccer, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. It is an offensive-minded substitution, obviously, in the 76th minute. As Jose Martinez is done, Joaquin Torres does come on. Keep in mind the tactical flexibility, Shannon, as we roll into the latter stages of half number 2. The final 15 minutes plus second half stoppage time. Atlanta still up 1-0. Glesnes sets up to deny Atlanta on the pass centrally. Then coughed back up from Leon Flock right back to Ibarra. Union just gave it away from Leon. Here comes Berry up ahead. They have Lennon out wide. Miguel Berry to the left of Bendick with Atlanta up 1-0 over the Union. They have it in the attacking half. Still marching past the opposite way. Well away for the Bendick goal now, thankfully for the Union side. It goes into possession of Almada, who gave it right back to Harriel. Nearly lost it. One back by Berry. Inside for Wolf. Chance here for Atlanta. Here comes the cross inside. At the top of the 18, they settle. Back to Almada. Stopped by Glesnes. Cleared away. Shot by Berry. Blocked down in front by the Union at the tip of the 18. Will stay in possession for Atlanta. That was a ton of ball watching and a bevy of opportunities for Atlanta.
And it's a bad turnover by Harriel in the Union defensive half. Looks like he might have gotten a push, but the Union do a good job to defend and not let shots in on goal, scrambling around and then get a block at the top of the box. So good job by the Union after a bad turnover, but need to make sure that they can cut out some of those sloppy turnovers to not get themselves into these situations.
Almada will have the corner to the right of Bendick. 1-0 Shannon. Atlanta leads over the Union. Here's the corner to the right of Joe. Almada's ready with his hands on his hips. A two-step approach. Swings his leg forward, south to north. Cleared away by Glezis with his head right at the 6. Second ball, Hernandez. 40 yards away from goal. Big switch out to the left of Bendick. In possession, Lennon. Outside the 18. Marked tightly here for the Union. Here comes the cross. Back post. Header behind Atlanta. Second ball won by Almada. Tip of the 18, 22 yards away. Almada tries to get it back. Won by Carranza. Union trying to counter with Torres. Racing forward towards the coaching box of Pineda. Out of play off of the Union. Here comes a throw in for Atlanta. Winning those second and third balls in the sequence.
And Atlanta finding some joy again out on that right-hand side. Overload on the back post. Union have a lot of numbers back and actually have to use Julian Carranza to clear the ball, so they have to do a good job of continuing to close out those wide spaces and deny service.
Parata, Shannon in possession to his right. Hernandez back to Parada. Little pressure here up top from Quinn Sullivan. He's the target man up top. Joaquin Torres is sprayed out to the left. Ball played forward for Almada. Wiley cutting inside. Possession here for Atlanta up 1-0. Looking for Wiley inside. He toe poked that. Now it was a back heel still alive for Atlanta. Towards the tip. Here's Almada on his right. Trying to curl it in over the line. And here comes the shot off the bend to get in. There's the second goal for Atlanta United. It belongs to Brooks Lennon. 2-0. The Five Stripes get that second goal at home.
And along with Almada, I think Lennon's been one of their most dangerous players. Does a good job of finding that wide space again at the right time. Gets in behind Nate Harriel, who's in a tucked-in position because of the defensive shape of the Union. And unfortunately, it looks like it takes a deflection as Joe Bendick sees it late. Unfortunate for the Union, but they don't do a good job of forcing the ball where they want to. They have a chance to clear. Don't do a good job of that. And again, they're disorganized, and that's been the death of them tonight.
And it's Almada again, Shannon, who creates the opportunity on his right. Found Lennon to the left of Bendick to the tip of the 6th. The Union late defending with Leon Flock on that left-hand side. Lennon had too much real estate, Shannon, and he got his second goal of the season. As a former right back yourself, you have to be pretty pleased with the afternoon of Brooks Lennon.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of not only having service, but now getting the goal. Again, Union are disorganized in the back as Harriel comes across to try to defend. That leaves the backside exposed. Almada knows that, does a good job of being unselfish and knowing that Lennon's in a better spot than he is to score a goal.
Brooks Lennon with his 9th career goal from Almada, who has a goal and an assist in this game, as Bendick has allowed 2 this afternoon, and the Union are down 2. 81st minute. Union in possession. Bizo gets it back, marching towards the 18. Cleared away by Abram. Will be a throw-in for Joaquin Torres, who gives way to Bizo. Cameroon getting set to play this one in. Union just need to get one back in a hurry. Off of the back heel there, Gazdag to Torres. Rolled that forward. Nobody home on the near pipe for the Union. Out of play. Goal kick upcoming here for Atlanta's Guzan. Spend your summer with the Union Youth. The Union Youth are proud to host a variety of summer camps throughout PA, Delaware, and New Jersey. Enhance your skills and grow your love of the game in this unique camp experience. You can learn more now at PhiladelphiaUnionYouth.com. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their July 4th weekend, listening to us, whether at home, in the car, or down the shore. Dave Leto and Shannon Williams on the call from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, joined by producer Kyle Morello. Matt Menarek is back at the 97.5 The Fanatic Studios. Atlanta is up 2-0 over the Union on goals by Almada in the 7th minute. And just a moment ago, by Brooks Lennon. Torres tried to win that in the attacking half off of Sadic, even though Torres looked like he got banged up in the nose. No hard whistle from Uncle. We play on the restart over to Glesnes. So Shannon's situation, 82nd minute, Union down 2. This sequence, is it about just getting that one right back? Do they have to do it the next minute or two, though, for this to even be a comeback effort?
Yeah, I think they need to get one pretty quickly here. We know that once you get one goal, 2-1 is a dangerous scoreline and one that they can climb back into, but they're having trouble in terms of being able to defend Atlanta right now, as Atlanta's really starting to get themselves clicking. and really starting to expose this Union back
Here
line.
comes the cross. Bendick denies it that time. Shannon looking for the target man towards that back post there, and Berry goes out of play. But again, a ton of ball watching there, and I see what you're saying with the disorganization out of the back. Wolf created the opportunity to the right of Bendick. There was really nobody home. Played the cross in, looking for Berry. Cleared away. Instead, will be a corner for Atlanta, up 2-0.
Atlanta's done a really good job of pulling the Union defense apart and making sure that when one guy steps, there's somebody else running in behind, and that's really hard to defend. So they need to do a better job of communicating. That doesn't always happen, and it leads to open plays.
Lennon with the restart, an outswinging ball. Bizo let that roll, cleared away by Gleznes, who fell to the turf. He's okay. It was a nice play by the Norwegian, and Almada has the possession, gets it on his right, tried to hit this one in. Ultimately did not because Torres was in his way. Ball at the top of the D. Union down 2-0. Rolled forward off of the back heel, though, of Quinn Sullivan. Gazdag salvages it nonetheless. McGlynn, Gazdag played forward to Torres, but they're still in the defensive half. Torres rolling this up ahead, forward, chested down by Carranza. Carranza playing this up ahead to Quinn Sullivan to the left of Gazdag. Here comes Sullivan rolling it forward. Nice play by Parata. Spills back inside for McGlynn. Shot is blocked by Hernandez at the tip of the 18, and Wiley is there for Atlanta. Sadich lets this roll forward. Here comes Harrio inside the 18. He's on his left with the shot. Goes high above the crossbar. It missed the whole way. Nice play by young Nate. Out of play. Goal kick for Guzan. 2-0 Atlanta.
He does a good job to jump a square pass and then takes a player on 1v1. Unfortunate, he should be aiming for the back post and tries to catch Guzan at the near post, which is a tougher shot in the end.
We begin, Shane, now the 85th minute. 2-0 Atlanta on the goals by Almada in the 7th minute. And Brooks Lennon as well for his second of the season. Very well from the right back spot. You just thought maybe at the start of the second half that equalizer was coming because the Union were getting a ton more crosses, especially from the Bizo side, but they ultimately, Shannon, couldn't cash any in.
They just haven't been able to connect. And while you don't like to make excuses, I think this turf has definitely affected them tonight. It's something that they're not used to playing on, and it's been not only the crosses but the little combinations in and around the box that they haven't been able to connect on.
Wiley sprints forward. He jousts right past Olivier Bizo towards the end line. Ted Uncle confers with the AR on the far side of the field. Should be a goal kick for Bendick, and it will be, as Wiley has some words with Jacob Gleznes as well. So the crowd gets into it a little bit. Uncle says, Wiley, just keep marching on back. You're up 2-0 as we're about to begin the 86 minutes here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. For the Union, if they do go down here in Atlanta, it would be the 6th loss this year, the first one since the San Jose 2-1 loss on the 10th of June, and several substitutions about to happen for Atlanta United. So Ibarra is going to come out and welcome back. It's a big substitution because Santiago Sosa, Shane, has been nursing an ankle injury. Last played May 31st against New England in that 3-3 draw for Atlanta. Sosa is back. He's a welcome addition for this Atlanta team.
And Atlanta sniffing that they have this win locked up and wanting to close the door behind them and not give the Union a chance to try to climb back into this game. They'll look to make a little bit more defensive subs and shore things up in the back.
Andrew Gutman will come on as well to replace Wiley on the left-hand side. And Osvaldo Alonso, a player, Shannon, that you well know, 37 years young, from Cuba, his second year with Atlanta, the longtime Seattle Sounder, comes on as well in the 87th minute.
And again, just wanting to shore up that back line and make sure that they don't get out of here with any goals conceded.
Ball played to the right of Guzan now. Elliott's in possession over to McGlynn. McGlynn has it 55 yards away from goal. They're chanting the ATL in unison here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Good crowd here in the first and second decks. We're above the 200 level. Torres chips that forward off of Sosa, gets an early touch inside. Trying to flee forward there was Wolf, won by Harriel. Flock out wide, Sullivan. To the upper right of Guzan, 2-0 Atlanta, 87th minute. McGlynn will find Harriel. Harriel doesn't look behind him to find Leon, who had plenty of real estate. Sullivan ducks inside, 20 yards away from goal. Tips off of Alonso. Leon Flock towards the end line in the corner, has it to the right of Guzan. Retreats, 10-yard pass behind him, over to Harriel. Stepping up is Gazdag. Gazdag, 25 yards away from goal. Ducking in is Torres. Over to Harriel, who wins it as it pinballs off of Lennon. Still alive. Nobody's offside for the moment. 2-0 Atlanta. Union in possession towards the final third. McGlynn. Torres, top of the D. Toe pokes that forward to his right. Over to Bizos. Getting set to cross this one in. Ball's off at Gutman. And it will go out of play. Will be a long throw for Bizo in the Union. Down by 2. 88th minutes. McGlynn still has it. Bizo to his right, getting set to cross it in. Thrashes that forward. There's the header. Nicely done by Hernandez. Here's McGlynn with the shot. Blocked out in front by Osvaldo. Chance here the opposite way on the counter here for Almada. Racing past McGlynn. Still in possession about 30 yards down the turf here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Almada in possession. Gets it from left to right with his right boot, plays it forward, marked there tightly on the intercept. The tackle was good there from McGlynn to get it back to Elliott. Won by Gazdag, 89th minute, 2-0 Atlanta. Torres on the ball, well away from the goal from Guzan, but really nothing doing in the attack. You got 4 in the back defensively for Atlanta. Now a back 5, and then 3 right in front with that block of 8. Obviously preserving this 2-0 lead. Sullivan whips this forward. It deflected off of Gutman on the back of his jersey, wearing 15 in red and gold. Out of play. Uncle says it does go off for the Union, and a long throw here for Atlanta.
And the Union's quality of service just hasn't been good enough tonight. They've missed on almost all their crosses, and that's been the way for them to get back into the game. So unfortunate for them. They haven't been able to connect on those crosses. They've had the numbers in the box, and they've just missed on little details.
Atlanta's going to go on to improve to 3-1-5 over the last 9 games, in better form in this recent stretch. Had a good start to the season, then a quiet spell where they lost 3 in a row to Nashville, Miami, and Charlotte, and have since been in some wild games at the end, but overall staying out of the loss column. A big switch here to Olivier Bizo in the 90th minute, approaching second half stoppage time. 2-0 Atlanta on the goals by Almada and Lennon in the second half. Rolling forward there, 30 yards up ahead. Bizo, no runner. Carranza wasn't there. Right to Guzan, who will reset in the 90th minute. Just not looking like the Union's afternoon here on our local airwaves and also on national television. Atlanta's probably going to go into 6th place. The Union will dip into 5th due to the tiebreakers, with Columbus going forward and leapfrogging the Union. And a great start to this 3-game road stretch for the club. We'll go to LA Galaxy, who has had 4 consecutive draws amid all their turmoil this season. Torres, 4 minutes of stoppage time by De Silva, the 4th referee. Minimum of 4 to culminate this one here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Almada in possession to the upper right of Bendick. 3rd game without Andre. Blake Gutman plays it forward to Almada. Wasn't ready for the pass coming inside with the give and go. Out of play off of Gutman. And will be a free kick here for Joe Bendick.
And Almada's had a really good second half. He's done a really good job of not only keeping possession, but knowing what the right pass is, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to pass, and has done a good job to help Atlanta gain a 2-goal lead with a goal and an assist tonight.
And Lennon had the last goal in the 79th minute. Glesnes in possession, out wide by Bizo, 2-0 Atlanta. The 91st minute, tackled there by Alonso, the former longtime Seattle Sounder. Very upset with the assistant referee, Jeremy Hansen, of the near side of the field. Threw his right arm out in disgust, and McGlynn will have the restart. Bizo just limping towards the sideline. He is okay, staying on the pitch. Harriel over to McGlynn, 40 yards away from the goal of Brad Guzan. And Harriel will retreat all the way into the back to Elliott. Elliott steps forward in possession. A block of 8 in front of him for Atlanta, trying to preserve the 2-0 clean sheet for Brad Guzan. Played forward from Olivier Bizo. One hops over to Parata. Offside against the Union on this tough afternoon here at Mercedes-Benz. Comes out here for Atlanta due to the offside call.
Yeah, and again, the Union just not having their day today. They've been off in the wide areas while they've been able to find space and expose Atlanta in those areas. They haven't been able to connect, and I think that's been the difference in the game today.
Yeah, 14 shots for the Union today. Shannon, just one. A pallid one on goal. The attack, conservatively, we can say, has looked anemic this afternoon, and give credit to what Atlanta with their organization defensively as well.
Yeah, they've done a good job of being tight to players and not giving up shots as you just described the shot chart, and that doesn't favor the Union, that's for sure.
Yep. Had a lot of trouble in that first half on that Leon Flock side, playing that left wing back. They went back to the 4-4-2 diamond, which they've done the last two games. But give what Almada did very early on. If Almada doesn't score in the 7th minute, don't want to play hindsight, but maybe this could have been a little bit different. Torres arguing with Jeremy Hansen on the near side. Might be the culprit for a yellow card and Will for delaying the restart because he was holding the ball, arguing with the assistant referee to the right of Jim Curtin. And it should be a restart upcoming for Atlanta in front of Jim, who just got that extension. 3 years more for Jim Curtin towards the 2026 season. His contract was expiring at the end of this year. There were rumors, perhaps, would he go to the U.S. men's national team? If Jesse Marsh got the job, if Jim Curtin obviously got the job, or maybe somewhere else, but we're happy that the Philly native is going to stay here for the Union. Glesnes rolled off the side of his head, alive in front up top, but cleared away by Bendick and also Elliott before a racing Atlanta United player, and Wolf can be up there to salvage that. It said Glesnes has it. Probably got a minute and a half left in this one. It is 2-0 Atlanta United on the goals by Almada and Lennon on this tough afternoon for the Union here in the ATL. Torres try to whip this one in with his right. Looks for the right runner in Nate Harriel. Silenced, though, by Lennon, who was stride for stride with him with a diagonal hit. On the cross by Torres will be a goal kick for Guzan, who's smelling his 4th shutout of this season.
And another cross that goes searching. Unfortunately, Torres can't bend it in the path of Quinn Sullivan and even Nathan Harriel out wide as the referee calls for full time there.
There's the whistle from Ted Uncle, and that will do it from the capacity crowd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Almada and Lennon are the difference makers for Atlanta as the Five Stripes win it 2-0 over the Philadelphia Union. It is the 6th loss this year for the Union, who will fall to 10-6-4, and now are winless on the road in the last 3 opportunities, from the San Jose game in which they fell, Orlando in the 2-2 draw before the Miami win, and today a 2-0 loss to Atlanta.
And the Union just seemed off from the start. They weren't organized well enough in the first half, which led to the first goal, and then started to climb back into the game. Weren't able to connect on that final pass, and then gave up the second goal, which kills off the game and gives Atlanta the win. So just a game where things don't go your way, and those will happen, especially when you're on the road. So they'll have to regroup and get back on the road, but hopefully we'll have a better game and be a little bit organized next game.
Yep, now 3 wins in the last 9 for Atlanta, who improved to 3-1-5 during this nice stretch for Gonzalo Pineda. We'll step aside, and our post-match report will commence after this. Once again, the final 2-0 Atlanta over the Philadelphia Union. Post-game is next. You're listening to Philadelphia Union Soccer from Atlanta on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
How do we create hope for a cleaner planet? Together. We see you conscious carpooling and weekend beach cleaning. All who've long gone green and all taking their first steps. We see you doing your part for the planet every day. And Green Mountain Energy is here to power everything you do with 100% renewable wind and solar energy. So join us for the love of the planet and for the hope inspired by everything on it. Green Mountain Energy. Light the future. PUCT 10009.
Don't let bone, muscle, or joint pain sideline you from your favorite activities. Premier Orthopedics physicians and therapists treat all injuries with the expertise and resources to help get you back to feeling your best. And with more than 50 locations throughout the region, including 2 orthopedic urgent care centers, Premier Orthopedics provides exceptional care when and where you need it. Get back in the game. Call Premier Orthopedics today at 1-855-ORTHO-24 or visit premierortho.com. Premier Orthopedics is the official orthopedics and physical therapy partner of the Philadelphia Union.
Need a little peace and quiet? Revitalize your spirit as you explore our winding country roads and make your way to our charming shops and cozy eateries. Here, everyone from the solo adventurer to lively families can experience rejuvenation and our timelessness. Lancaster County, Pennsylvania is an affordable haven for your next getaway. Visit discoverlancaster.com for more of what Lancaster County has to offer.
Hi, it's Brian Boucher, and let me tell you about my friend Mario and his team at Great Railing. When your deck or railing project is in crunch time, there's only one place to go. In one trip to Great Railing, you'll find everything for the whole project from start to finish in stock. They have a huge selection of highest quality products at a fraction of the cost. I know firsthand the money you will save on your project. For quality products and everyday great pricing, do what I did and call Mario at Great Railing. Call 856-875-0050 or log on to greatrailing.com.
You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
Final today from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, as the Philadelphia Union go down 2-0 to Atlanta United. For the Union, who have won 8 of the last 11, now make it 8 of 12, getting this loss here. Their prior loss was a few games ago to San Jose. That's 2 losses in the last 4. In what could be described, Shannon, as a very disappointing afternoon. And I say that because not a ton of opportunity in half number 1. Going with a back 3 to 3-4-1-2. Obviously missing Kai Hertz on the left-hand side, and Atlanta exploited that. But I just thought too much time and space for the one guy that you're preparing for all week in Thiago Almada, and I'll give Almada credit. He's a special player, and he delivered throughout this game.
He's definitely a special player. We saw the first goal. What a great strike, and one that I'm sure will be up for goal of the week. Then in the second half, started to find the ball a little bit more out on the left-hand side and looked to expose the Union. Like I said, he makes good decisions on the ball, and he picked the right one on that second goal as he looked to find Lennon, who was wide open on the far side. Bendick, I think, can make a save on it, and I'm sure he'd like to have that back, as that keeps the game at 1-0 as the Union were starting to chase and get some opportunities. And it just wasn't the Union's day. I think the turf definitely affected them and what they were able to do. You don't like to make excuses for the Union, but I definitely think that the turf today affected them.
Who do you think was most organized out of the back for Atlanta? We mentioned Lennon, who does get one of the 2 goals today. I thought both Abram, who was a little bit quiet in the second half, Ronald Hernandez, who's been coming back off of injury, I thought played really well in this game. But those players out of the back, I thought, did not enable the Union attackers and Gazdag, Ua, and Kranza to combine more effectively throughout this game when those guys especially were in.
I thought the 3 center backs for Atlanta played really well. They defended a ton of crosses. They were tight to players. They made sure players couldn't get a good running start at things. And then when it did go to the Union, they did a good job of blocking shots. So, again, the Atlanta back 3 really made it hard on the Union front 3 to get anything. I don't think Gazdag's name got called enough. Yeah. I think Ua started to struggle as the game went on. We hardly called Carranza, who's usually dangerous in and around the box. So credit to those 3 and Brad Guzan, who does a good job of having them organized in front of him.
For as good as Carranza's playing in this stretch of like 5 goals in the last 7, I think you're spot on. I didn't see too many prime opportunities for Carranza in situations where he was isolated 1v1, peeling off a back shoulder amid Guzan. And I thought Guzan, even though he gets the shutout, his 4th of the year and well-deserved, but with 14 shots, just 1 on target, I would chalk that up as a comfortable afternoon for the U.S. international goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a bunch of half chances by the Union. I don't think they were able to really get a clear-cut chance. They had a couple things that could have developed, to be specific, the Bedoya chance at the beginning of the second half, and then some crosses that ended up getting blocked at the end of it. So, again, does a good job to keep his defense organized, something that the Union didn't do a good job of for most of this game, and they pay the price for it.
All right, so let's go to 2 of the highlights from this one. We'll highlight both of the goals beginning in the 7th minute. But first, Giacomakis, who was in the game early on and started at the number 9, went down. A foul was called on Nate Harrell. At first, it was ruled a penalty by Ted Unkel. Then it went to video review. After review, the call on the field was overturned. It was a call and a foul coming up outside the box. No penalty kick, but a free kick for Thiago Almada, one of the best at set pieces in the league, and he delivered off of a rebound. It is no score in the 7th minute. Almada has hands on hips, ready to put this on frame against Bendick. Here's a free kick for Atlanta. Here's Almada, 2-step approach, bangs into the wall. Martinez was there. Second ball, he scores! is! Almada gets the rebound himself after it bangs it off the wall, and he hits that past Bendix left, who didn't even move. 1-0 Atlanta United off for the rebound.
And I think that all starts with Nathan Harriel not doing a good job of reading what's happening, covering the space behind him, and dropping early. That leads to a free kick on the top of the box with one of Atlanta's most dangerous players, if not one of the more dangerous players in MLS, ready to strike a free kick. He gets a little lucky that it comes back to him, but again, does a great job to have a good strike at it and gives Joe Bendick no chance.
I agree. It was fortuitous. It was a great hit by Almada, but that ball bounces 5 yards to his right or to his left. It's probably not going to be that half volley opportunity for Thiago.
And it's why you don't want to give up set pieces. Anything can happen. He does a good job, again, of just taking it first time off the half bounce and gets a good strike as we're watching it again on the Jumbotron here.
Later on for Atlanta in that first half, Berry with the opportunity, 42nd minute. Bendick makes an easy save from an Almada service, and then he makes a stop on Lennon in first half stoppage time. Then as we march to the second half, a little tactical switch. I think I saw at some point in the latter stages of half number one, going from the 3-4-1-2 to the 4-4-2 diamond, which is the customary formation for the Union. At least we've seen that in the last two games. See Leon Flock dip inside into the midfield, the left-hand side of the diamond. We saw more crosses from the Union. As that second half was going on, you thought that the Union could get the equalizer up until Brooks Lennon in the 79th minute, on a lot of ball watching, pounded the insurance goal home for Atlanta. Joaquin Torres is sprayed out to the left. Ball played forward for Almada. Wiley cutting inside. Possession here for Atlanta, up 1-0. Looking for Wiley inside. He toe-poked that. That was a back heel still alive for Atlanta. Towards the tip. Here's Almada on his right, trying to curl it in over to Lennon. Here comes a shot off the bend to get in. There's the second goal for Atlanta United. It belongs to Brooks Lennon. 2-0. The Five Stripes get that second goal at home.
And a goal that starts in Atlanta's defensive third. They do a good job of unorganizing the back line. I think Mbaizo's a little late to step and gets played in behind. And then the defense gets unorganized from there. We see Nathan Harriel come all the way across the field, leaving his side open. Almada does a good job of being patient and waiting for the right pass to open up. He's able to find Lennon on the back post. And again, while it's right at Bendick, it's not an easy save, but one that I think Bendick expects himself to make.
It's still going to be the Joe Bendick show, right? Jamaica hasn't lost for the Gold Cup. I know they play at 7 Eastern tonight, in about 30 minutes. They play St. Kitts and Nevis. The U.S. play Trinidad and Tobago. So Joe's going to continue to have to step up for the club. He's got 1 win out of 3 and just needs better play moving forward, especially for the trip out to LA Galaxy next week.
And it's tough because obviously Andre is one of the best, if not the best.